Okay guys, we're going to do homemade shepherd's pie tonight. First you're going to start off with a key of minced meat into a pan of hot oil, extra virgin olive oil, whatever you can get your hands on. And the key to this is you brown the mince first, and then we'll add some onion and some garlic and veg with a bit of gravy. Put it in at a nice heat and just keep turning it, moving it about the pan until you get a nice brown colouring. This is simple to make. It's hearty. You can feed the whole family with it, and it's a good Irish meal. That's the main thing. So what I'll do while I'm cooking the beef is I'll get myself a bit of salt and a bit of pepper, and I'll throw a little bit in. Usually to brown minced meat takes you about 5 minutes. It shouldn't take you any longer than that. And just make sure you always keep turning your mince, moving it about the pan. Don't let it sit around, because usually it gets burnt if you do that, and it sticks to the end of the pan. And when the shepherd's pie is finished, you'll taste it if you're after leaving it sit still in the pan and it's after getting burnt. It's a charred taste you get. So just keep it moving around like that. Break it down, break the beef down as you're moving it about the pan too. You don't want it in big chunks like pieces of hamburger. And what I'll do is, just before we have it fully browned, I'll add some onions, some garlic, and the carrots and the peas. So here we go. One brown onion. Not too finely diced, mind you, because it doesn't need to be in the shepherd's pie. A shepherd's pie to me is a hearty meal. There's no need to finely dice it like you would, like a lot of people would prefer to do. I prefer to throw the chunks of onion into it.
A bit more rustic.
It's a bit more rustic, and it's a bit heartier. It's a bit heartier, and that's the way shepherd's pie should be, a good hearty meal. No need to be too particular with how you chop your onion for it. So that's one onion, one brown onion. There you go. And what we have here is a couple of cloves of garlic. You don't need to go too crazy on the garlic, because all it takes is a couple of cloves in the shepherd's pie, and once you put the potato over it and put it into the oven to seal, that garlic will flavour the entire dish. So there we go. It's been in there now a few minutes and it's almost fully browned.
So you just started to sweat off the onion and get the flavour out?
Yeah, that's it. Just make sure it's well mixed in together and well cooked. And the smell that's coming off this now is, you can always, you can tell by the smell of the food when it's ready, you know, when it's ready to eat or when it's ready to add another ingredient. So there we go. And now I have 3 carrots here and a cup of peas. These are frozen peas. Frozen peas are just as good as, they're actually better than canned peas, and just regular carrots.
And they've already been cooked?
And they've already been cooked, yeah. Compliments of Angela, the camera woman. So that's a cup of peas and 3 carrots. In with the brown onion and the key of minced meat. So there you go. Okay. And the next thing I'm going to add to this here now is a beef casserole type flavouring, which you can pick up in any grocery store for $2, and it adds great flavour to the shepherd's pie. You don't necessarily need to make your own gravy from scratch. I mean, you can do that if you want, but I find that these are you know, less hassle and all flavour, and they're well worth the money. So that's the casserole flavouring in on top of that. Just start moving that around. You see the oil and the juices coming off the minced meat mixed in with this casserole flavouring, which is really good, beef casserole flavouring. That smells good already. And what I'm going to add to that is some gravy, which is pre-mixed with cold water, and that goes in on top of that then. There we go. And once you add the gravy, you may need to add some water to it as well if it thickens on you. You can always tell anyway whether it's thickening or not just by keeping an eye on it. And I think I can add a little bit more gravy to that myself. Okay guys, so the mincemeat and the veg is done. I added a little bit more gravy to that there, and it's been sitting for 5 minutes. I've just turned it off. It was simmering for 5 minutes. And now I'm going to show you how I do my mashed potato. And my mashed potato is renowned all over the United States, Europe and Australia. Okay, so we had about 7 small potatoes here, okay? And I'm going to add salt first. So that's enough salt, and then the same quantity of black pepper, maybe even a little more pepper. So there we go. So that's the salt and the pepper. A pinch of thyme is the key with this. I'm using dry thyme. You can use fresh thyme if you like fresh thyme. If you like fresh produce, you can pick fresh thyme up anywhere. In any Coles or any Safeway IGA.
You can smell that when it hits the heat.
And when the thyme hits the heat, it's beautiful. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of this canola type spread here. And I really go generous with this because it adds to the flavour of the mashed potato. The key is in the butter and the key is in the milk, getting the quantity right. Okay, so don't hold back on butter, guys. No.
Right.
There you go. So alright, that's 3 soup spoons of butter. There we go. And the next thing is the milk. Just don't go too heavy on the milk because you'll end up with runny mashed potato. Just a nice drizzle like that, and you can always add a little bit more as you go along. I'll just get the masher out here. So we'll just get the camera over here and.
The butter makes it really rich. The
butter makes it really rich, really buttery, and then the thyme complements the butter, and the milk too gives it that creamy flavour. And as I said, the salt and the pepper. And once this goes in under the oven and starts to brown and crisp, it'll be beautiful.
And the mince you used was minced beef.
Minced beef, of course. That's all. That's the only type of mince you put in the shepherd's pie is minced beef. So that's the mashed potato done there. So we have everything we need now.
Now it's time to assemble.
Now it's time to assemble. If you just want to jump down there, Anshan, I'll bring the oven dish over here and I'll do it on the counter. Okay guys, so once you have your mince meat and your veggies and your gravy mix done with your mashed potato, 200 fan forced oven. If it's not a fan forced oven, then put it at 210. And we're going to put it into the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes to just brown the potato and get it ready for the table. Okay, so I'm going to transfer. Look at the colour of that there now, the peas and the carrots and the gravy. It's a real good hearty feed. There you go.
Wow. And how many people? That looks like that would feed 4 people?
That would feed 4 people, yeah. We could have actually put this into a bigger oven dish. It would have been, because we have to put a good bit of potato on that, so I think I might transfer it to an oven dish. We just the shepherd's pie mix into a bigger oven dish, and I'm going to add the potato to that now with a fork, just to give it a good finished look. You can see the colour of that potato. And the smell of butter and thyme off it makes your mouth water. So that's preparation time, 10 minutes or so. There we go. There we go. Just get a good even topping of mashed potato on top of your shepherd's pie. Not too thin. If it's too thin, usually the gravy and the minced meat come out through the top of it when it's in the oven. So there you have it.
And you put the fork things in so it gets crispier?
It gets crispier, and it's just good presentation as well too, Ange, you know. Just okay, there you go, right? I'm going to put the potato down here, get myself a cloth down with the oven.
And that's going in for how long?
That's going to go in for 15 to 20 minutes until we get a good brown, crispy coating on the top of the potato. What I'm going to do next is I have a piece of, I have dough here, okay? This is the same recipe, the same dough base that I used in my pizza recipe I made. The exact same, and we're going to make some garlic bread to go with the pizza, or to go with the shepherd's pie. Here we go. It's already been kneaded, so there's no need to go too crazy with it. Put it out like this.
And did you have to oil the pan or anything like that?
No, because what I did is I used some extra virgin olive oil in the dough preparation,
so
and that will help the bread from not sticking to the tray. So here I'm after mixing 2 cloves of garlic with some butter. I'll just put that down. And what you do is you get it on a spoon like this and just spread it out over the top of your dough base.
And then you're going to roll it into itself?
No, I don't even roll it into itself at all. I just pop it into the oven the way it is. Usually what I do is I put some marks with the knife across the top of the dough, which I'll show you there now in a second. And this will take the same length of time as the shepherd's pie will take, 15 to 20 minutes. Shouldn't take any longer. And it's really well to serve with your shepherd's pie on the side.
And in the butter you've just got how many teaspoons? What have you got? What measurements?
I have two tablespoons of butter mixed with 2 cloves of finely diced garlic.
And no salt or anything, because that's salt. We don't.
I
need
put
it.
salt and pepper into it, but it's entirely up to yourself. The salt and pepper is entirely up to yourself. Whatever you fancy, you know. So there you have it.
And not too fussy with the shape, because we're keeping the rusty.
Yeah, exactly.
Going.
You don't need to, you know, you don't need to do a Sistine Chapel when you're making this, right? Just get your dough together. It's 2 cups of flour with a cup of cheese and a cup of boiling water and a dash of virgin olive oil, and that's what you come out with there. Okay. When you get something like this in any pizza place, this is the way it comes out, and you can put some cheese on it too if you want.
So what are you scoring it now?
I'm scoring it. That's it. 4 times usually, like so. Just help it bake thoroughly. There we go. And that goes into the oven with its buddy shepherd's pie to cook for a while. And we'll see you in about 20 minutes, guys. 20 minutes in the oven at 200 degrees. It's about ready to take out now. So we can see what we got here. We decided to go with cheesy garlic bread. So there you have the garlic bread. Just like anything you'd get in Domino's or 4-star pizza for a fraction of the price. And we get the shepherd's pie out. And we do have a bit of gravy on top of that potato as well, but look at that. You can see the golden colour of the butter. We didn't spare any expenses with this. We really went rich with everything. So, and let's just get some serve it up there. Baby, how many slices of cheesy garlic bread you want? Just one? Mm-hmm. I knew it! So I'll just get Angie's dinner ready there first. We give her a nice slice of garlic bread. Homemade. Just stick that down into it. Oh, that's nice. This is just fresh yum now, guys. Go. There's the garlic bread. And get your shepherd's pie. And I know you don't want too much, Ange, do you?
No, not really.
Angela's very, she eats small portions compared to me, so she's watching me like a hawk. You know, she doesn't want me to serve her up a big mountain of food. Homemade shepherd's pie. Look at that. Just beautiful. I'll just get you some more meat there, darling, alright? Oh, she's freaking. Look at that. Is that enough, yeah?
That's a handful.
How does it look?
It looks delicious.
That's what she said. Alright, and now I'm going to serve myself. I'm just going to put this down for 1 second. Take this up. I'll take this slice here. Try and cut it with the bad hand. Bit of a task, but we'll be alright. There we go. Lovely, lovely homemade garlic bread. And the smell off this, guys, is just too bad. You're on that side of the camera and we're on this side of the camera. Because that smell is something else, guys. You wouldn't get better in the best restaurant in any town. I know I'm going to serve myself my portion of shepherd's pie. I'll go with the crispiest, which is the closest side to me. Oh, look at that mashed potato. Beautiful. And especially, it's winter time in Australia, guys, but like winter time in Australia is like summertime in Ireland, so it's still good winter food, you know, really real comfort food, really filling. And look at that. That's the perfect combination of mashed potatoes and beef and veg. You couldn't ask for anything better. So there you go. Do you want a glass of Coke with your dinner, Ange?
No, I'm fine.
Now you're fine. Okay, we'll just get it in on camera again there, alright? That's mine. That's Angela's. So there you go guys, about half an hour altogether. 20 minutes in the oven, and I'll put the recipe for the cheesy garlic bread underneath the video with the recipe for the shepherd's pie. Slán.